Just beyond this area, the capillaries begin to merge together and eventually form larger vessels called veins, which lead back to the heart. As the vessels carry deoxygenated blood back to the heart, waste products are routed to other organs, where they are removed for disposal.
And we examine it under a microscope, it would look something like this, where you have the middle, call that the lumen, and right outside of the lumen you have cells. And these cells are going all the way around the lumen, and they're the first type of cell that any blood would interact with, right? Because that's right immediately outside of the lumen. And on the other side of the cells, on the back side of the cells, if you think of the lumen as the front side, is a little line I'm going to draw here to represent protein that sits there and acts as a scaffold, kind of like keeping all the cells in place. So you have all these endothelial cells, and then you have that little
There are three main kinds of blood vessels: arteries, capillaries, and veins. Arteries are large blood vessels that carry blood from your heart to the rest of your body. This blood is rich in oxygen and nutrients. As arteries get farther away from the heart, they begin to branch and become smaller and smaller. The smallest branches are called capillaries, and this is where the oxygen in your blood is transferred to your tissues. In exchange, the wastes from your cells, including carbon dioxide, are transferred into the blood. As the deoxygenated blood makes its way back through the heart and lungs, it picks up oxygen and nutrients. The heart then pumps the blood out through the arteries, and the cycle is repeated.
We'll start here at the heart with the aorta. We have our ascending aorta and then the aortic arch. Coming off the aortic arch, we have our brachiocephalic, which branches into our common carotid, and our subclavian, our right subclavian artery. We also have our left common carotid coming off, and then the left subclavian artery coming off as well. The aorta will then become descending aorta to become the thoracic aorta, down into the abdominal aorta. So it just follows its way down. If we pick up over here just real quick, we see our subclavian artery will branch into the axillary artery in this region.
And the capillary is actually going to look different from all of this other stuff that we've done, because the capillaries are actually really, really unique in the sense that, unlike what we had for the veins and the arteries, this is down to the single cell level, right? So you still have a lumen, but on the outside, instead of having a lot of endothelial cells, you actually have, at times, one cell. One cell will actually form the entire wall of the tube. So you actually have a cell traveling within a cell, almost like the cell is giving the little red blood cells floating through a big hug or something like that. So that capillary looks actually quite different, as you can see from the other things that we've drawn, the veins and the arteries. But